episode 78 of Telepathy. Is that you? Is that you? Question mark. Are you guys there?
Wait, I think it is.
Oh my gosh. I love
Wait,
like
I think it
starting as
is.
like a phone call. Like,
Wait,
can
you
you hear
guys
me
hear
okay?
me? Okay, I think they can.
Okay, perfect. Anyways,
Oh wait, I just realized I still have gum in my mouth. I need to spit that out. That would be
for
so
some gum
rude of me.
ASMR. Well, while Anna does that, I will be the first to welcome you to Telepathy, the greatest podcast on the internet to have ever existed, said everyone ever.
Yeah, the reviews just came in. Literally, the world asked the people of the world, like, what is the best podcast ever? And everybody responded telepathy.
It was on world.org. They sent like they sent a survey out to everybody and they said telepathy was the best.
Yeah, it was actually world.gov. It was an official website.
True.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was an entrance. But hi, I'm Enzo. We introduce ourselves later, but like, just there's your little teaser. and that is
As if the teaser wasn't like the title of the podcast being called Telepathy with Enzo Antonio and Anna Catherine.
literally, you just gave it
Yeah.
away. Your name is Anna.
No,
But
sorry guys.
we get into that. Anyways, today's episode is how to make your life more interesting because it really be boring out here. For example, I always start off the episodes by saying the same thing, but today I switched it up. So there's reason number one. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
very true. Like, we just really do keep things interesting. We're the only thing that makes your life interesting. So basically, what you're going to learn in this podcast is just why you should listen to telepathy. And that's going to be it.
Right. Because I feel like we hear people talking about, oh, it's the small things and stuff like that. So it's like we're kind of going off of that, like how to enjoy the small things while also just trying to make everyday moments appear bigger than they are. Because what is it? Object may appear. What does it say on like
Objects in mirror may appear bigger than they actually are, or
right,
something like that.
mundane life things may
Wow.
appear better than they actually are after you listen
Wow.
to this episode.
I think,
Wait, that's kind of like a funny little post we should make or something like that.
yeah, we should. We should. That is good.
Write that down.
And
producer.
so, like, yeah, and so looks at, like, the social media manager, which is me, like, make
No,
that
literally.
happen.
I've actually
Okay,
been
I'll try.
realizing with the video episodes, shameless plug, we're doing video episodes and they are available
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube and Spotify. So go watch those if you prefer to have something or someone or beautiful faces to look at while you listen to your
Beautiful
podcast.
faces.
True
Declan McKenna song.
smiling over us. Lift your hands up.
Okay, well, we should probably get into, like, stuff, you know?
True. You're very right.
So,
Okay.
do you have the camp question ready for us?
I do. We always start off with our icebreakers because this is summer camp. We have to get to know each other. It's a thing. Anyways, it's my turn to come up with the question and your name, your age. And this is slightly a repeat, but it's like one more level up. So I've asked what's your
Okay.
favorite soda before, but the Coke Freestyle machine is in front of you right here, right now. You have a cup with ice. What are you getting?
That's such a good question. Okay, my name's Anna. I'm 22, and I think this is true that everybody's favorite soda is different than what they would get at a Coke Freestyle machine.
Uh-huh.
Well, like, I don't know if that's true, but
No, I
like
think
for
so.
me, my answers are different. So my favorite soda is Coke, but if I were in front of a Coke Freestyle machine, I would be getting peach Fanta. And that is because that's the only place I've been able to get peach Fanta. I don't like normal Fanta. I don't really like orange soda unless it's poppy, but I love peach Fanta. And like one day, it was just like the first time I used a freestyle machine, I was like, oh, let's see. I love the flavor peach. Oh, there's peach Fanta. Let's try it. And since then, that's the only thing I get. Like, that's just it.
So valid. Okay. Hi, I'm Enzo. I'm 17. And, normally I think my favorite soda is also Coke, but I level it up one more with a freestyle machine and I will get cherry vanilla Coke, like both together.
I have
So
gotten
good.
that one before.
So good. Also, one time I did try a lime ginger ale and that was a solid runner up. I was like, wait, so good.
Okay, yes. So next up, music shout out. What is your music shout out this week?
Yes, wait, I literally pointed it out in my January playlist and I was like, oh, this is going to be the one. And then I forgot. So give me one moment. Do you have yours?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool.
Mine, I just realized it's an amazing song and I did not shout it out because I think it just got lost somewhere. But it's Inhaler's third single from their upcoming album, which comes out in 2 weeks.
Really?
Actually,
Wait, I
like,
feel like that was fast.
yeah, I know. I just kind of like forgot, and then I was like, wait, Inhaler's album is coming out. But it's like the weekend that you guys are visiting, so just be prepared for
Oh,
like
we'll be ready
me at
for
my worst.
insufferable Anna. Just kidding. That's
Yeah.
nothing new. And I'm just kidding again.
Yeah, no,
JK
literally. No, that
twice.
is not new. But it's a question of you, and I think, okay, I keep saying this about every time they release a single for this album, but I think it is their best song on this album.
Okay. Wait,
And
you
I've
haven't
said that
heard the
about
whole
everyone.
album?
Well, it's so far. I mean,
Okay, it's
like
the best
they
single.
keep like yeah, they keep leveling up. So I'm excited for the album because I think it's going to be really
They're
good.
just gonna
And
keep going.
usually, yeah, and usually I like like album songs better than lead singles. So I'm really excited because I really like all the lead singles so far. So yes. By the way, we have all of our telepathy music shout outs on our telepathy playlist, which is on Spotify. And to get to that, you can go to our Instagram at the Telepathy Pod, go to the highlights section titled playlist, and click the link to our Spotify playlist where you can listen to all of our amazing music shout outs.
So true. We're almost at 200 songs, which is literally crazy. But my music shout out this week is Meet Me in Mexico by The Drums. I actually love The Drums, and I feel like they're such a good little band. And then a second shout out is Big Brown Eyes by Lola Young. I feel like she's been gaining so much popularity recently, and I think she definitely does have a cool vibe. Have you heard? You've probably heard
Is
like,
she the one? She's the one that sings like the "I'm so messy."
uh-huh.
Yeah, I had that song stuck in my head all day today, and I haven't even listened to it in full. It's just like
You
I
should
hear the
listen to it in
sound.
full. Something
Yeah.
about her
Okay,
vibe.
good.
It's one of those songs where I feel like the writing of it is pretty simple, but it's really satisfying to listen to. And I want to learn like psychologically why I think that the song is actually destined to be a hit because it's like you don't have to get used to it or anything. I feel like you hear it once and you're kind of like you get the full picture and you're like, yeah. So that's one
Right.
super cool. And Big Brown Eyes, I love. So that one I'm adding to the playlist.
Cool. Does she have like an album?
Yes. I haven't
Cool.
listened to the
I
whole
will
thing though.
definitely check her out more. I didn't know, now that you have an opinion on her, I'm glad because I didn't know if she was like, if I was allowed to like her, or if she's like a like really stupid TikTok musician.
No,
But
at this point
I
I'm
like
like,
your I like your review.
I know people have TikTok still, but it's like it's off my phone, it's off the App Store. If I want to listen to this song that's like popular on TikTok, I don't care. And it's like it's good. So it's like
Yeah. Any week recaps or movie and TV? We usually don't have many movie and TV shout outs, but do you have
I
any?
don't. I don't. I don't think I
I
do. I'll
don't
double check
either.
Letterbox,
Oh,
but
actually, I watched. I'm like very not well versed in just the early 2000s chick flicks, but I just
okay.
watched 13 Going on 30 for the first time
I've never
this
seen
week.
it.
It was good. You would like it.
Okay.
It was because I normally it just depends on that type of movie. Like sometimes they're stupid, but sometimes they're really good. And I thought this one was really good. We also watched The Devil Wears Prada again. That was my second time watching it, which I didn't love it the first time I watched it with you guys, but I also wasn't really paying that much attention. And then this time I was like, oh, I can finally redeem or like finally form an opinion about it. But unfortunately, we started the movie at 11:30, so I was asleep during about like three-fourths of the movie.
That's so funny. I just feel like Anne
So
Hathaway and Meryl Streep and Emily Blunt, they all have like such distinct characters. And so it's
yeah,
just like, oh, it's so cute. I love that movie.
yeah, I do love Anne Hathaway. Like she's so cool.
Yes.
So I need to watch that again
Third
to form
time's
an
the
opinion.
charm. Anyways,
Yes.
I have no movie shout outs, but this week, so on Saturday, I went to do a college interview, which maybe I won't say exactly
Oh,
where yet because, yeah, but
I didn't know you had that.
yes, it was 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. It was a long day. Like the interview
Wow.
itself was like 25 minutes, I think, which is kind of a long time. But I will say, I think that podcasting has helped me talk more, like with more fluidity.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of like not proving my point by the way I just like completely stuttered, but I think that it went very smoothly. I feel like we talked about good things. I feel like I was real, but not too real. I'm just kidding.
Hmm.
And then we had to do this like group assessment
Real,
part.
real, but in a professional way.
Real, but in a wait. Okay, there should be a word for that. What is the word for that? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
We'll have to find it or make
Professional,
it because Shakespeare
relatable
made words, so we can do it.
professionalism. Relatable professionalism.
Relational,
Or
like
just relatable professionalism.
no, but like if no, if Shakespeare can make up words, so can we.
Yeah,
Anyways,
true.
that's a different story. So, yeah, that interview went great. And then there's the group assessment where we had to come up with a pitch based on a prompt. I think that went good. Basically, the whole day went good, but I was kind of just like, can I forward this all to UCLA?
Yeah,
I'm awful. Anyways, that was my week. Second
cool.
semester. I don't know. My classes like don't feel like my classes. Like I feel like I'm going through somebody else's schedule. I don't know if it's because it's my last semester. Like I just feel like I'm kind of like these aren't my classes, but it's like they are.
I kind of feel like that way, sort of. I feel like my classes don't actually exist because I only go to class for one class like twice a week. So it's like, it's weird to think that most of my life right now isn't classes. So it's just, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
interesting.
Anyways,
Um, my week recap
oh, sorry. I
is
literally didn't even let you
it's
do. I was like, anyways, guys, moving on. No, I'm just kidding. Your
it
week.
snowed. It snowed for the first time in Savannah in like, okay, so the last time it snowed was like 2018, but it was only an inch. So the last time it actually snowed this big, which we got 3 inches, last time it snowed this much was 1989, which is crazy. Like that's 35 years, 36 years. So it was very exciting. Everybody was like out building snowmen and like having fun. And we got class canceled, or we got class moved online basically the whole week, which was really nice. So I had a very lazy week. And I'm trying to like get back into it because today's Monday. And I'm trying to like, I have a very busy week this week. I have like a really big checkpoint due on Thursday, so I've had a chill quarter so far, and today's my week to grind. But honestly, I think it's still gonna be pretty chill. So
Yes.
that's
No, I
good.
kind of relate to. I'm just out of it. Like with my classes, I think it's because everybody makes the second semester of senior year out to be this relaxing. You don't have much work. You're just kind of cruising by. But it's like I'm still taking two AP classes, and I don't think it's going to be the chillest of semesters. But I think that my will to just get work done is slowly degrading, but that's something that we'll work through. But ways to make your life more interesting. I think I'm very excited. We each came up with a few different ways. And I feel like a big misconception that people have a lot of the times when talking about this is I feel like a lot of the times you want life to be more interesting, but you're not bored. For example, life can be so busy and you're going to class with if you're a student or have like, I don't know, working crazy hours at a job. It's like
Hmm.
your time is being taken up. It's not like you're bored, but you just feel very stuck in terms of the daily routine and that there's a lot to do, but
Right.
you just want
You're kind of
little
like on
ways.
autopilot. It
Right.
like when you're so busy, it's like you just feel like you're on autopilot and you don't have any time for like something interesting. Even if it's something interesting happening, if you have to do it, it doesn't feel as interesting.
Absolutely. So let's,
Absolutely.
yes, let's get right into it. Do you want to start off with your reason?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So I have about like six or seven. Mine are, some of them are more in depth, some of them are just like really random. Like really random. I don't really know even how it popped into my head. I think I'm just feeling creative today.
Yeah.
But my first one is a big one, and this is an important one, and I'm putting it first because even though I know that you guys don't click off of telepathy, just in case you do click off halfway through, which you won't, because this episode's gonna be really good, you will at least get this one in your life. I think a really fun way to make your life more interesting is to just like rebrand yourself.
Okay.
I say this as like literally going into the career of branding, like that is my interest. But I have been thinking a lot about rebranding myself over the past year, just because I don't know, like it feels fun. So, what is your personal brand? I feel like we could do a whole actually episode about this, but
I'll write that down actually.
Yeah, I think yeah, we can go more deep dive on this, but like, I think what makes your personal brand is your signature things. So you need like a bunch of signature things. And if you feel like you are bored with your signature things, switch out your signature things. So, like, say that
Uh-huh.
you normally drink matcha lattes at every coffee shop you go to. Maybe now you have suddenly become a cappuccino person. Maybe you normally drink iced drinks. Maybe now you drink only hot drinks. Signature snacks. I have slowly rebranded my signature snack over the past month or two to now be pimento cheese pickle crackers, inspired by my favorite snack at a bar in North Carolina and that I've talked about so many times.
That's so funny.
There's some things that'll always stay the same until maybe you happen upon a new favorite thing. Like for now, my signature favorite movie is Moulin Rouge, and I hope it always stays that way. But you never know what life has in store. Like maybe I'll watch a movie at one point that becomes my new favorite. But the main thing I've been trying to reincorporate into my or to incorporate into my brand is the color red. All of my life I've like hated the color red, and then one day I was just like, what if I made red like my color? Not my main color because Anna Catherine Green is so signature for me,
So
and if
superior.
I ever took Anna Catherine Green out of my brand, it would just be wrong. Like, there's just some things that you can't change because it's the core of you. But I was like, what if we just started adding in red? So it's partly because I got a new car and it happened to be red because that was the cheapest one. And then I got a red jacket, which was different for me, but I was like, why not? And then now I've actually rebranded my personal branding, like my logo and stuff. And red is now officially a hex code in my color palette. So yeah,
Wow.
it's a big deal.
Big, big steps taken.
So long story short, if you want to rebrand yourself, just think of your signature things and think of like what can change, what can be added on, and it makes your life more interesting because like when you're thinking of stuff to buy or stuff to do, you're like, wait, this is like what aligns with my brand.
I actually love that. I'm actually going to move one of mine up on the list because I think it flows well into this, but
Okay.
try new foods. And this literally, I was thinking of this example that if you have a regular order at a place, switch it up because I think this is so funny, but I see so many people at my work because I work as a barista, and so many people have been getting the same drink for the past 3 months. And they come in, they're like, oh, I'm not going to try anything new. Like, I know that I love it. And it's like, there is such a great feeling of having such, a classic order that it always hits the spot. But I think that in these, just kind of not boring, but when you're lacking some sort of spice and some substance amidst a busy routine, I think that going out of your way to try new stuff, whether it's a new order at a coffee shop or, I don't know, a new dish at your favorite restaurant, just to like, spice up the palate. And you'll even,
Yeah.
I think that this could help you find your new favorite things because
Yeah.
a lot of the times, like when I think about my favorites, my favorite movies and stuff haven't changed since like forever. So I'm like, I need to keep watching stuff and keep leveling up, because I
Yeah.
think that like whenever you think you know a lot about yourself, it's like keep going. So I feel like
Yeah,
that's with
exactly.
this,
Like yeah, that's so true because like back to the Moulin Rouge example, like I like La La Land had always been my favorite movie before Moulin Rouge, and then before La La Land just like any Disney movie. But like it's weird to think that Moulin Rouge feels like such a big part of me right now
Yeah.
that like it's weird to think that I only discovered it like 3 or 4 years ago. It's such a weird. Actually, I think it's been exactly 3 years because I discovered it like in January of 2022. So, woohoo!
Yes.
But I have been trying to incorporate sushi into my life. I've always been like sushi is the only food that I like can't get into.
Keep going, keep trying.
But I guess what? I went to a sushi place when Lily and Maggie were in town last or 2 weekends ago, and I got sushi instead of like one of the other things on the menu.
I love sushi. Okay, yes,
And it was
I will
good.
continue to enforce the sushi agenda upon you.
Yeah. It was like fine. Like again, like but for some reason it's just not. I just prefer other things. But
Yeah. It's only a
but now
matter of
I'm more
time though,
open to it.
so
Yeah. So yeah,
yes.
trying new foods is a good one because like even if you try something and it's disgusting, like that's probably going to be the most interesting part of your day was like trying something new and it was really bad. And so that still makes your life interesting, just maybe not in a good way that day.
I know, and like me, a foodie, like even if I try something new and I don't love it, like I'll still finish it and stuff. I'll still be able to because there's no food that I truly, truly despise, except coconut shavings kind of make me like want to vomit for some reason. But that's like literally the only thing. I'm very open to trying new food. So this could also just be me, but had to put that on there. So what's your next
Okay.
one?
My next one is to have really detailed and random social media profiles, and each one should be slightly different, but they're still cohesive to your inner being.
Profiles? Like each
Like, okay, for example, like I'm saying like on different apps. I'm not
Oh,
saying
okay,
like
okay, okay. I
have
see.
5 Instagram accounts. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was like, oh, we're not just rebranding, we're taking on like multiple identities. So funny.
Is it rebranding or is it multiple personality disorder?
Let us know your
We'll
thoughts.
never know. But like, for example, I try to just like I guess I've been just more lighthearted on social media recently. Like my Instagram posts have always kind of stayed the same, but like my private story on Instagram now, I have a few different like channels on my private story. I just incorporated
Wow.
my new Dress to Impress channel,
Oh, that's what
which is
that
just a
was.
new highlight
That's
section.
what that was. I'm just kidding. Wait, what do you mean channels? Like you can join it?
No, I mean like highlights. Like
Oh,
everyone's
okay.
on the private story, it's
Okay.
just different highlights.
I
I'm just
see.
making it way more deep than it actually
I was
is.
like, wait, you can like leave and join this private story? Like you can leave it? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Just kidding.
You're
I
like,
enjoy
wait,
it.
I can
You
leave
can
your
leave
dress to
it. No, I'm just
impress.
kidding. I love the Dress to Impress content.
So I just made a new highlight on my private story that's specifically just me posting my dress to impress looks. That's only one example. What made me think of this tip was like my Spotify. I love my Spotify account so much. And I never really make anything private because I just like people to see everything random that I'm listening to and everything random on my like just like make your accounts public and like you'll just be more interesting outwardly and
I need to do
inwardly.
that for my
But
Spotify. It's just like my monthly playlist. Like, yeah, has Aquamarine by Addison Rae been in my last like four playlists created? Yes.
well, that's okay.
And you know what? I'm not ashamed of it. Some
Yeah,
other
like
playlist choices, maybe they don't need to be public.
but
But we'll
like
see. My Spotify is a little bit lacking, at
but
least in
I
recent
okay.
times.
I really love making a Spotify playlist and then being like, I wonder what people will think of this. Not that like anybody actually looks at my profile, but I look at people's Spotify. I check out all of my friends' Spotify profiles like on average once a day because like that's just what I do.
Okay. Did they change very often?
So
Because mine hasn't changed in so long. But
no, yours hasn't. Not most of them do. That's why it's like a really big deal when somebody does, but mine changes like every day.
you know
So,
what? I'll add one soon because I even have
okay, good.
there's some like I have my For the Altos playlist and it's all musical theater songs and like this could be helpful for people. So I'm like, you know what? Let me share it with the world.
Yeah. I'm just like I guess I'm saying like I feel like life feels more interesting when you are at risk of knowing that anybody at any time can see what is on your Spotify.
Well, because when you start letting
And
go, it's like you just once again leveling up. I don't know, I keep saying this in this episode, but it's like if you're able to post your music taste openly, you just keep building up. And before you know it, you're in conversations and you are being yourself to the fullest extent and sharing all of your interests and hobbies and not filtering or censoring yourself. So it's like, you know what? I see no harm in this. Okay, this is kind of a good segue though, once again,
okay.
which is just perfect. But
We're just so like we wrote these with telepathy.
no, literally. Okay. Allow music to structure your life. This is like calling myself out, but I have like one playlist, which is normally my monthly playlist or just a different seasonal one that I will keep on rotation all day. I'll play it in the car and then it's still shuffling. And then before you know it, the next day when I'm getting ready and I'm listening to music, that same playlist is playing. But I feel like something that can be really interesting, and I have tried this before, but making playlists for different times of the day. For example, I do have a Good Morning
Hmm.
World, How Are You playlist. And it's just when I want to, when I wake up
See,
and I
we
want to
wouldn't
listen to
know this because they're
jazz.
not public.
It's not public, but maybe it will be. You'll see when you check tomorrow and the day after.
Yes, I
Exactly.
will.
Anyways, so yeah, I have like a morning playlist, when I'm getting ready. So that's like a jazz one. And then I do want to create one that's like driving to school, because I think like also when I'm in college and stuff, I'll look back on it and be like, "Ah, high school." But I have so many classic driving to school tunes and I want to put them in a playlist. And I feel like just having a place for all of us to be like, just to kind of organize your day almost, to make
Hmm.
it seem less like this endless cycle, because it's like, is it an endless cycle or is it the part of my day where I put on my morning playlist? You tell me, you
Hmm.
know? So that's my next way to make your life more interesting. So comment, like, and subscribe for
Yes.
more. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It came to me.
My next one, this is a really random one that I have not done ever, but I
Okay.
just thought it would be really funny. I don't really know how this even popped in my
You
head,
know what? Share
but
it.
it's like make secret handshakes with your friends.
Let's workshop that one. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's good. I think that's good. That's funny. What is our telepathy handshake?
I don't know.
I
We
don't
can't
know.
like we can't do it on camera because then it
Well,
wouldn't be
actually,
secret.
it's like a mental thing. Like, we know that we're doing the handshake right now, but you guys don't know
Or
because
we
you can't
could
see telepathy.
actually, I think the people who watch and listen to this deserve to know the handshake. So
What's a
like maybe we
handshake
could
that we
just
could
make one.
do?
I think it should just be like,
Just little like brain waves, and then to you,
yeah, like, and then
and then a
like
little
zap
like
each other's
nod that you
hands.
received it.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So ready?
Okay. How many people just
Okay,
clicked
guys.
off? I'm just kidding. They were already gone. No, I'm just kidding. Again, I'm like unwell today, guys. I'm not used to waking up early for school, and then I had rehearsal until 5 today, and that was not. Anyways, was that all you had to your reason, or would you like to elaborate more on this?
No, that was it. I just thought it could make your life more interesting.
Okay.
But
And maybe it did. We'll have to see. Okay, my next one is to creatively fulfill yourself more often. Even if you're not an artsy person, I think that going to concerts more, I mean, obviously, like, that's just kind of a money thing because concerts are so expensive nowadays. But let's think of an example. So, me, I really enjoy theater. And so recently I've been looking into all of the local high schools and the shows that they've been doing, because it's like $10 tickets. It's good to support local theater and to see the competition. No, I'm just kidding. But I think that just doing little things like that or going to the movie theater more, that's something that I want to try to do more this year. But just like little ways to creatively fulfill myself, or not to like
yeah,
to be a consumer for a second, because I think I do get really tired of just, I don't know, looking through Netflix or a streaming platform and just finding what to watch, or watching a recap of a show on YouTube and just getting the scraps of it. But I think that like going
yeah.
to a movie theater and getting the full experience with that, or going to see live theater, or going to a concert, like it really just, it's such a serotonin boost, honestly, because it's just
That's
like,
very true.
I don't know. So I feel like just doing stuff like that more often is really, really good. Even though obviously concerts, it's like, are we going to spend $400 a week? No. So that one's a little bit of an outlier.
But you can watch the telepathy video
For free,
versions.
except on our Patreon. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, our Patreon discussion will be coming soon because I have thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, that would be a really interesting one. That would make
Yes.
my life more interesting, would be to talk about Patreon.
That's your next reason. No, what is your next reason? Or
My
way? I don't
next
know.
one is my next one is find a place that you can be a local at. and just
Okay.
like move in. Just like move in there. Just kidding. Like
Okay.
don't actually move in. But you know what I mean? Like have somewhere that you can be like, I literally live here. That's not your house.
Become a regular just anywhere.
Yeah. For me, it's my favorite coffee shop in Savannah because there's just a lot of seating space and it's like where I go to get my work done a lot of the time. And it just feels, I feel like this kind of can add to your personal brand, like that is part of you. Like,
It's part of you, it's part of your routine, and it's something that you want to
yeah,
follow through with.
yeah. But at the same time, don't just go through autopilot and go to this place. Go there because like you just live there. Like if you don't like being a local somewhere and if that makes your life too boring, then do the opposite. Like go somewhere new every time. But I think that
Yes.
I like being a local at a place.
Yes, but when you go there, you have to try new things each time, and maybe you can settle on a regular order eventually. But if they have a new seasonal item and you're debating on whether to get your regular drink or try it, go for the seasonal item. It's just so much more interesting.
Yeah. Like be a regular, but don't let the baristas ever be like the regular.
Ugh, like be be so unpredictable. You walk in, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's you again. Like, did you want that like last time?" No, I'm trying something new.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
You do you. Anyways, my next reason is to actually follow through with plans. We have all been here, but I feel like there's people that I'll run into that I haven't seen in so long, and we're like, yes, we should do something soon. Or, oh my gosh, yes, we'll totally hang out this summer. And it's like, maybe at best, you'll hang out once and then never see each other again, or like for like 3 months or something like that. But when people are saying, like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in so long, I feel like there's something so not attractive, but like there's something so respectable about somebody who, you say, "Oh my gosh, we haven't seen each other so long. We should do something." And it's like, "Yeah, what are you doing this day next week? Want to do
Yeah.
this?" And it's like they
Yeah.
lay down the groundwork for a plan. And it's like something about it is super, what is the word I'm looking for?
I know what you mean, like attractive but not attractive.
Like platonically
like
attractive. I mean, I guess it
um
could be
like
romantically,
um
but
just like cool. I don't know. Like good thing
yeah,
to do.
yeah.
I don't know. I know
Like
what you mean
there's
though.
something about it that I really, really appreciate and people who do that. And it's like, I get it because I've been there before where I'm scared to reach out to somebody and text and all that. But I mean, at least me, every time I receive a text from somebody that's like, want to do something or something like that, I'm super like flattered. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I get really excited. So I think that, go outside of the box with the people that you talk to. Of course, we all have our day ones and we have our besties, but I think that there's, a stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet. You know what they say? But I'm just kidding. But if there's somebody like in your class or something that you talk to a lot and you feel like you have a lot in common, like maybe explore that and take the friendship to another level. That sounds like I'm telling you to like romantically pursue somebody in your class that like you think you're friends with, but you know. Anyways,
Or you can do that too if that makes your life more interesting.
yes, make up random crushes for fun. That's my next one. No, I'm just kidding. I hate that.
Yeah,
As we learned in last episode.
that's not fun. Really an obvious one. But it's just so true and like we need a reminder of this every day. I was gonna say every once in a while, but then I
Is
just
it
said
limit
every
social
day.
media use?
Yeah.
That's my next one too.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll telepathy on this one.
That's so funny.
But more specifically, to replace social media with hobbies, because
Yes.
I have talked about this before, but like I've just recently totally gone from like having 5 hours a day of on my phone to like 1 hour a day.
I'm not there yet,
And
but trust I will be
like
there.
and I just have so much more time. Like I have been reading. I'm on a 63-day reading streak. Like what the heck?
That's so
By the time this
good.
comes out, it'll be like a 70-day reading streak.
OMG.
And I've just like had time to do a morning routine. Like I've just the other day I started now like journaling in the morning because it's like I could be spending 20 minutes on my phone watching YouTube shorts in the morning, but I could just journal for like 10 minutes instead. And it would still take less time. So,
Love. Okay, one thing to replace that time with, which, not to be biased, but listening to more podcasts. Recently, I've been, finding some different podcasts that I've liked. And obviously,
what type of podcast are you referencing, Enzo?
I really like Telepathy with, I don't remember who it's with, but
I don't know if I've
JK.
heard of that
So
one.
I actually listened to Pretty Basic, which, I mean, I've been listening to for a while, but the other day I was getting ready and I was listening to the podcast, and it was this episode that they did with, I think Mimi Boucher is her name, but she does whatever crack they put in that episode. It was life changing. I'm so serious. You have to listen to this episode because
Okay.
it just talks a lot about like manifestation and like instead of trying to change into this person that you hope to be down the line, like instead like embody the person that you hope to be and just like stuff like that and sort of just like getting on the same frequency level as your desired self, or not even just like the person that you quote unquote want to be, but just like your fullest potential. So that episode I was like,
Like,
okay,
just like, is it like being like, I just said like 5 times.
me every 5
Is it being
seconds.
like, that's not who I want to be. Like, I am that right now. Like,
Yeah,
already
and it's
embodying who you want
right.
to be.
Yeah. And like a lot of like visualizing, like if you want to be this cool girl and all of that, like what are you wearing? What do you see? It's like, and you try to embody that. And it's not even in like a toxic positivity, like fake it till you make it kind of way. It's kind of just like, yes, we all have bad days, but how would like me at my fullest potential handle a bad day? And just stuff like that. Of course, I'm just summarizing it and not giving it justice or not doing it justice. I don't know what is wrong with me today, but whatever was in this episode, I was like, okay, just randomly change my life at like 10 p.m. That's fine. Um, but
Good.
moral of the story, I feel like Spotify, there's so many ways to find podcasts, like new podcasts. Like they have it grouped by genre. I think a lot of times
Yeah.
you can just find new and fun episodes. And I don't know, it kind of like slows down your mind, but it also like motivates you. And I find that it
Yeah.
really gets you in tune with your internal monologue. Cause I feel like, I don't know if it sounds like lonely, but whenever I listen to a podcast, did my phone die?
I think Enzo's phone might have run out of battery.
Sorry guys for weird. I don't know what just happened, but I think that podcasts definitely get you more in tune with your internal monologue and stuff like that. Because whenever I listen to podcasts, I feel like I kind of am processing it and I'm answering it in my own head, and I will listen to something and be
Yeah.
like, that's interesting. And then I'll connect it to something in my own life and just really think about my life as a whole. And like, I don't know, I feel like it just helps you take such a step back, especially as
Yeah.
somebody who's an overthinker. And I think that
I
Spotify
totally get
has
that.
so many great ways to find new podcasters and new episodes and stuff like that. So, of course, we're biased and we want you to listen to Telepathy, but you can expand if you want.
Can I shout out a podcast as well?
Yes.
I just started listening to this one recently because it's new. It's with Matt Diavella. Did I talk about this in a
I don't know. Isn't he
literally
like your
last
minimalist
episode?
inspiration?
Minimalist inspiration. When were we talking about
Like, I
that?
feel like you'll talk about like minimalism and you'll reference Matt Diavella.
Oh yes, but yes, he is. He's like one of the kind of minimalist YouTubers. But
Okay.
he started a new podcast. He had an old podcast, but he does more like self-help content and just inspirational content. And so he started this new podcast that is called Three Rules with Matt Diavella, and he invites a new person on every episode, and he just has them give their three like most important tips for life basically. And like every person has totally different
Wait, that's
responses,
so interesting.
and then you just learn so much about like sometimes you don't identify with like something that somebody says, or like you their lifestyle is different from yours, but like certain rules you can just like pick and choose which ones you like. And I've learned so many interesting things from it. Like, I don't know. And it comes out every Monday, so it's just like a cool way to start the week. And
Yes.
inspirational.
I
So yeah,
love,
that's my
honestly,
podcast shout
Mondays.
out.
I don't know. This is random, but I feel like I don't hate Mondays that much. I think Tuesday is often the one where it's like, ugh. Because it's
Yeah,
like a second Monday, because it's like you're nowhere near done with the week, but it's like you don't get the same fresh start vibes as a Monday.
that's
That being
actually so
said,
true.
Mondays still suck, and that's just fresh on my mind because it just so happens to be Monday.
Monday.
But that means new Three Rules episode came out, so everyone go stream. Okay, what's your next
Okay.
one? Hashtag active listening, by the way.
Okay. My next one is have different routines that you like mix and match. Like, don't do the same
Oh,
routine every day. Like, have a few routines that you mix and match. Like,
yeah.
I've thought about this for a few years now. Like, it's just been something that I've thought about. And because I feel like it gets boring to have the same routine every day, but at the same time, it's hard to not have a routine. So, for example, it's easier with my current style of schedule because I only have classes on 2 days. So, like on my days off, not the weekend, I go to like the gym and then I take a shower, and then on Mondays I go grocery shopping. But like, I guess I'm saying, like, for example, if you want to read every day, maybe just make these things like, I need to do this at some point today. Like, I want to do this at some point today, but not like I have to do this at 10 a.m. every day, because then I feel like it gets boring really fast.
Yes, I agree with that one.
What's your next one?
This is my final one, but and this is just like some good advice that I once again constantly fail at implementing in my life, but I want to. And that's that you don't have to wait until 7 p.m. to start something. Like you can start it at 6:42. Um, and I've learned it's kind of real because sometimes I'll look at the clock and be like, okay, I'll get up then. And it's like, now is your moment. And
Yeah.
I think that, okay, another thing, this was also in the podcast episode that literally changed my life, but we got into that. But it's like, even the concept of, oh, tomorrow's a new day, tomorrow's like every day's a fresh start. Like, we can go bigger than that. Like, the next hour is a fresh start. And so she even talked about, having a bad day and not just thinking like, oh, tomorrow will be better. But in terms of like, let me get my head in the right space and obviously take the time to like sit through this bad day, but also not soak up this negativity and instead keep moving forward. And, like where we can constantly refresh and like, if you're having a bad day, it doesn't mean you're doomed. And so I think that that's one thing to make your life more interesting is like knowing that you constantly have the ability to change and adapt. So I guess that's
Wow.
my final statement. Like you don't have to wait until a certain time. This is to myself because
Yeah.
ugh. Anyways,
That was a good one.
thank you. That was my
Yeah.
final piece to
I
leave you guys with.
I like need to go watch this podcast now. I'll
I'll send it
do
to
it as
you.
soon as
It
I
was like
can. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, what did you do? Because anyways,
Cool. I have one more
okay.
to finish it off. This one is to I phrased this in such a like
I'm so excited.
I don't know. It's like let serendipity lead your life. So,
Okay.
for example, this kind of goes back to what we were talking about with like having new favorite things. Like
Uh-huh.
you only have new favorite things if you try new things. So, for example, something that I've been doing recently, not that much but I need to like make this more thing, is when I go to a record store, I like choose three random records that I have never heard of, and then I go listen to them. I've only done this once so far.
Uh-huh. Like on
And I
Spotify, right?
got a good, yeah, yeah. Like
Okay,
you
I was
don't
gonna
buy,
say, I was
like,
like,
unless
wait,
you
do you have a
collect
record
random records,
player?
feel free to do that. But like, no, I just write down the names and then I go home and listen to it. And I listened to this one recently called like Cats and Music by some guy, and it's just like a nice little instrumental album that's like now in my instrumental playlist. But like same thing with how I've discovered a lot of my favorite things. It was kind of just like there, and then I was like, wait, I think this is gonna be my new favorite thing before I even consumed it. And then I was like, okay, I was right. Like I just had a feeling. You know when you have a feeling? So for
Uh-huh.
example, when I first watched Moulin Rouge, it was on a list of movies that I could choose to write a color theory essay on. There were only like 15
Oh,
options
wow.
or 20 options, and I happened to choose Moulin Rouge, but also because I was like, I feel like I'm gonna like this. And then
Uh-huh.
now it's my favorite movie. And then another example is like in 2020, how I discovered Inhaler, which is like my top two or three bands. They had like a YouTube ad show up with like their song, and I was like, I feel like I should just listen to this ad. And then it ended up being like one of my favorite songs and one of my favorite bands. And like, so just kind of be like that. Like if something pops up, be like, let me dig into this a little deeper.
Yes, I feel like that's our big epiphany of the episode is literally broaden your horizons. Like get excited. Sometimes I get stressed about this, but get excited by the fact that your next favorite blank is literally out there. Like there are so many albums that already exist or are being created right now or releasing
Yeah.
tomorrow or something like that. Like my next favorite album or favorite song or favorite movie or whatever, it's like it could already be out there or maybe it's being made right now. So it's like I constantly want to stay up to date with all of this because I don't know, it's like I of course I have my favorites and I've I always like think about this a lot when like it's the first day of a new semester and they're asking about you questions and it's like what are your top three favorite movies? And I think about the fact of how it's changed so much throughout the years. But of course, I still have my all time favorites. So it's like, get excited by the fact that you can
Yeah.
keep discovering your new favorite things.
Yeah. It
Like,
like overwhelms me that I am never going to listen to all of the music in the world and that like there's probably something that is it's more likely than not that I haven't listened to my favorite thing yet and that I never will because there's like infinite amounts of music. Isn't that weird to think?
yes, like,
Like based on math, like it's more likely than not that you haven't listened or watched your favorite thing.
no, literally. And like Julie Andrews said, simply remember your favorite things. I think we can go one more. Simply remember that you can keep finding your new favorite things. That's what telepathy said. That's what your auntie telepathy told you. And take these wise wise words and bring them with you this week.
This is so good. I've just become suddenly like so excited for life.
Why am
Like
I a self-help podcast now? I'm literally gonna like finish this, eat dinner, and then do all of my homework.
and then listen
Said
to every
everyone ever,
album
and then
that's
it didn't
ever been put
happen.
out in existence.
No, literally. Anyways, guys, that's the episode. If your life was changed, follow us on all streaming platforms. I'm just kidding.
And give us a 5 stars.
Yes. If you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe and comment your thoughts on this if you have any tips. Or
Yes,
just
please
like,
comment your tips on how to make your life more interesting because like everybody has something different.
exactly. And then if you're listening on Spotify or whatever, follow us there and, review us if you want. And then wherever else, it's like whatever's applicable to the platform you're using, go for it. And then, oh, I just hit the little pop filter. But our Instagram is at the Celebrity Pod if you want to keep up with us and answer the camp questions, give us your thoughts on the episodes, see more interesting segments. Like there's literally so much for you to do there. And like, why wouldn't you want to like follow it?
Yeah, like why?
It's a no-brainer. Like that's how you make your life more interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yes, thank you guys so much for listening or watching. Um, we'll be back next Tuesday with another episode. We're soon to episode 80, but not
Oh my
yet.
gosh, we're two away.
Yes.
Well, we'll see you next Telepathy Tuesday. Thank you for listening and or watching, and we'll see you there. All right,
Bye, guys.
bye.